Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of the Knit California podcast. My name is Leslie. I am Knit California here on YouTube and also on Instagram, and I am so excited for today's episode. I can't believe we're at episode 20 already. It's very exciting, and I have a lot of stuff to share today. I don't have any finished objects, but I have a lot of progress. Since last week was not a normal podcast episode, we've got a lot of progress on 2 of my sweater whips. I also have a couple acquisitions, and I want to talk a little bit about Advent knitting. I am filming this today. It is Wednesday the 23rd. Today's the day before Thanksgiving, although this will come out on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, so let's just go ahead and say Happy Thanksgiving to all of my US viewers. But it's almost time to start thinking about Advent knitting. Next week's episode will come out, is it on December 1st? December 2nd. So next week's episode will be December 2nd. So I'm planning on, at that point, like starting to share Advent stuff from at least the first day, if not the first 2 days. So that's what we got to talk about, thoughts and plans today. So we can start off with what I'm wearing. I don't know if I have ever worn this on the podcast. This is my Express Yourself sweater from the Knit Collage Make-Along last winter. So this was fall 2021. This was my first colorwork sweater. I know I had worked on oh man, what was the name of it? Oh my gosh, I haven't even finished it yet. My purple flower steeked cardigan, that was colorwork when I was working on that earlier this year. I had talked about how that was like my first fingering weight colorwork sweater. This is my actual first colorwork sweater, but this is made with like a bulky, like worsted bulky boucle yarn. This is the Serenity yarn from Knit Collage. So I just feel like it's a little bit of a different experience if you're doing color work with like a thick bulky yarn compared to fingering weight yarn. So that's why it was such a new experience for me making my purple steeked cardigan colorwork flower sweater. But I made this last year, and I absolutely love it. I love the pink, the black, and the white. I did make a mistake. All of these like black dots are supposed to be the top of the diamond, and I don't know where, but like on the back somewhere, yeah. So on the back it's right, and then I just like messed up. And as we come around to the front, it's just a different pattern. I mean, nobody ever knows. I forget most of the time, but I just think it's kind of funny. But this boucle yarn is like super, super lightweight, and it's really, really warm. So this is a really fun and nice sweater to wear when it's like really chilly outside at nighttime, maybe a little windy. We get a lot of wind here in Southern California. And I just thought it would be really fun to pop on for today's podcast. Yeah, so that's that. This is on my Ravelry if you want to look at any of the details. Same with all of my other finished objects, and that's linked down below. I also just want to say that everything that I talk about in the podcast today will be linked down below. All pattern information, links to Ravelry, yarn information, links to the website, Dyer's websites. And yeah, so if you If you want any of that information, it is in the description below. Okay, let's get started. With this one. This is my Slip Stitch Studios bag. I love it. I bought this kind of like right around Halloween time, and I have no plans to stop using it because I bought it because it could be used in all of the seasons throughout all of the year. But this is my Clove sweater. So let me show you my progress. Sorry, there are so many ends on this thing, but dun, 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 the body is finished. This is the Clove sweater by Rachel Kurihara. She is at Rachel Knits Things on Instagram, and the yarn is Explorer Knits and Fibers in Rocky's DK base, in the colorway Barrel Aged Sour. So the last time you saw this on the podcast, I was knitting around and around and around. I had joined the body and I was right here. And in the last 2 weeks, I finished the body and I finished this twisted rib split hem. It is split, which is pretty cool, except for the fact that it's done in twisted rib, which means you're knitting twisted rib flat, which means on one side you're doing your, knit through the back loop, purl regularly. On the other side, you need to knit and then purl through the back loop. Purling through the back loop is like the worst stitch in the entire world. But I did it for all 2.5 inches of this, and to be honest, it looks really good. It was annoying, but it looks really good. And I know this is gonna, it like kind of like pulls in on the edge. I don't know how to like show you, but it kind of pulls in. But I know with blocking that I can like fix that. I can block that out so that it stays a little bit straighter. But I was really happy with my progress. All of this and then this. And then I have started on one of the sleeves. My original goal, I don't remember if you remember me talking about this a few episodes ago, but my original goal was to get this finished so that I could wear it for Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and it's not gonna happen. I was not feeling super well yesterday. I had to take a little nap when I got home from work, and I just did not want to put all that pressure on myself to try to finish 2 sleeves in 2 days. Plus, then I would need to block it, which is fine. I could block it overnight, but I need to figure out what to do with the neckline. And I don't want to rush the blocking process on this because I'm doing the whole comparison of all these different patterns. There are some measurements that I need to take before blocking and then after blocking, which after blocking I could do at any point. But I don't want to rush taking the measurements, taking photos before blocking and have them look like crap. So it's just gonna be my Thanksgiving whip, which it'll be very thematic, and that's that. I did, before I finished the body, I was probably somewhere around here or so. I tried this on because I was really worried that it was not gonna be big enough because my gauge changed so much. my gauge ended up being smaller, more stitches per 4 inches. So the whole garment is smaller than it's supposed to be. And because of that, I was like really worried this wasn't gonna fit. It wasn't gonna have a nice like oversized size and look and feel. And so if you remember, I did add, you can kind of see here, I added 10 stitches to the underarms on both sides. And I am really happy that I did that because this does fit. It fits really nicely. It is, I think when I block this, I think it's going to block out beautifully. It's going to have a nice drape. It's going to be that oversized look. I'm not sure if it'll be the full 10 inches of positive ease that it's supposed to have, but when this is done, when I take all the measurements, I will let you know where it ended up for comparison's sake. And then, yeah, I said I need to figure out what to do with the neckline because this is supposed to have like a nice couple inches of twisted rib up here. However, where it's sitting on me right now, I don't know if I want to do that. If I do the couple inches of twisted rib, it's gonna like sit kind of high up on my neck. So I don't know. Ooh, I gotta pull this down. Sometimes I don't have any issues with things touching my neck, and then some days I'm just like, get away, get away. But I need to decide if I want to do the regular neckline or if I want to change it up and just do like an I-cord neckline. We'll see. I will probably, depending on how much yarn I have, because I'm also terrified of running out of yarn. I have a little more than half a skein plus a full skein, so I don't think I'm gonna run out for the sleeves, but I am worried about it. So depending on how much yarn I have too, that might impact my decision, but what will probably happen if I have enough yarn is I will do the neckline like it says to do and then try it on and block it, and if I hate it then I might rip it out and just do an I-cord edge neck line. So that's where we're at. I do love it. You can kind of see where I changed skeins, like right here, there's like this big line of color change, but in person, you can't really tell. Like, yeah, in the light, you can't really, I mean, this light, the lighting in here is weird. Although it is kind of like morning time light coming straight through my windows. But in person, you can't really tell. But I'm really happy with it so far. Just chugging along with this sleeve. My goal is to get this finished in November, so that I can start the next one in December, because my goal is to have one finished each month. Because if I finish the next one in December, then in like early January I can do the drop shoulder comparison video, which I'm really excited about. I don't know if you guys watch Emily from High Fiber Knits. She just did a whole podcast episode on comparing the designs and like design elements of a lot of really popular drop shoulder sweaters. So I would really recommend you to go and watch that. I thought it was super interesting, but the one caveat is that she has not made most of these patterns, and I'm excited to kind of do something similar, but having actually made all, well, not all, but 3 of these patterns. But she does talk about a lot of different ones. The Dear Duomo, which is the next one on my list, she did talk about. and she did not talk about the Clove sweater, and she did not talk about the Oslo sweater, but I believe she did talk about the Stockholm sweater by Petite Knit, which is very, very, very similar to the Oslo sweater. I need to like I need to look at those. Rebecca from the Crayabea talks about this in some of her podcast episodes because she loves the Stockholm sweater. And I remember her saying at one point, like, I don't know what the difference is between the Oslo sweater and the Stockholm sweater. They look very, very similar. It looks like the ribbing on the Stockholm sweater might be like even longer than it is on the Oslo sweater, but I need to like actually take a look at the descriptions in the patterns and see like what actually the difference is between those two. But anyway, go watch that video on Emily's channel, High Fiber Knits, and just get excited for when my video comes out. Like I said, I think if all my plans go according to plan, which like honestly they might change. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of thinking, which is always, when I start thinking, I change my mind a lot. But I think, I don't know. The issue that is coming up is my advent boxes. And I want to like knit advents in December. But I also want, for my advent, I want to do at least one sweater with my advent. And I'm pretty sure that I want to do a raglan design. So, never mind. I've thought about this and I keep going back and forth, but this is what I need to do. Finish the Clove sweater in November. Cast on the Dear Duomo sweater and work on that in December. Then we can do the comparison video for the drop shoulders. Then I will have my advent yarn, and at that point we can start making raglans in January. The other piece of this I forgot is I'm pretty sure my advents are all in fingering weight yarn, but I'm doing all of these comparisons in DK. So I might not even be able to cast on my advents for a while. That's okay. Maybe it'll just be a side project like my champagne cardigan. So, okay. All of that. That was a lot of just like out loud thoughts. All of that. I don't know if we even came to a conclusion. But we're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this in November. I still have a week. I can do 2 sleeves in a week, no problem. And I can swatch and get my yarn ready and even probably cast on, maybe. Is it this one? Oh boy. Yeah, if you don't remember, I'm doing my Dear Duomo in this Explorer Knits Cashmere Cavern sock in the colorway Fia, and I'm holding 2 strands together, so it's like a fingering plus a fingering equals a DK. So, yep. I'm really excited about that. The cashmere is just so soft. It's my favorite base. Of like all dyers, just give me all the cashmere, please. Okay. Next, we need to talk about this one. Do you recognize this bag? Do you remember what's in here? You might have remembered it sitting up here for like a month. For a lot of episodes, and me saying, oh yeah, there's my champagne cardigan with no progress. Well, I am here today to tell you that my champagne cardigan has progress. And this is probably the reason why my Clove sweater is not finished in time for Thanksgiving, because I did spend most of last weekend working on this instead of working on that. But it's okay. Did I seriously just stop? Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, I need to finish this. Hold on. Let me just finish this last row really fast because I need to just do these like 20 stitches or whatever it is. This has turned into like a knit and chat. But yeah, maybe if I hadn't have made all this progress on my champagne cardigan, then my Clove sweater might be finished. But you know what? It's okay. I really just like had the urge to work on this. And so I did. And it's made with this like really thick yarn, the Double Sunday. Yeah, this is the Petite Knit Sandnes Garn Double Sunday in the shade Sailor in the Dark. It's kind of, I don't know, it looks black. We can call it black. I think it's technically like got this blue hue to it, but I can't really tell at all. And then I'm holding it with the Knitting for Olive, not merino, mohair, Knitting for Olive mohair in the shade black as well. So yeah, I am knitting a black cardigan. Every other row is fully purled. At this point I just like didn't care. Like, I don't hate purling that much. And so I'm okay with it. Okay, we finished that row. Look at this. Okay, this is where I was. This is the marker where I was the last time this was actually seen on the podcast. So this is literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 9 rows that I had completed. And now we've got all of this. You can just, like put it on. Oh no, this is terrible. Terrible. Let's put it on backwards. Yeah, like this. I can't, it's not on like a long enough cord to really like show you, but I have finished the first part of the increases where you increase like all of the sections, and now I'm on the second part where you don't increase on the sleeves because you've already increased all the sleeves. So we're still increasing the like front and the back, but not the sleeves. And I don't know, it's just really, it's been really fun. I know this is like really hard to see because it's in black yarn, but it's got a 3-stitch raglan, which I like. I really like that thick raglan detail. I think it's super cute. Like I said, it's a really thick yarn. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but that's like a worsted Aran bulky something. I don't really know. I don't have any labels here. Plus a mohair. So it's going really well. I have to say it's going really well. And I do have to say, oh, I do have the labels. Double Sunday. Does it say what size it is though? No. I did also want to mention that I purchased from Twice Sheared Sheep these odd and even row counters. Odd and even row counters, and I really wanted to show you how to use them, but they're too small. I purchased like the medium size, and this is a needle size 5.5 millimeter that I'm using, and I needed the large. So I'm not going to be able to show you how to use them on this project. I've got a regular row counter on here now, and it works great. You know, I just put it on, it's actually like closer to the end when I'm purling, if that makes sense. and I just switch the row after every time I get to it. I figured that because you always like end on a purl row typically, so I would get to, you know, 10 at that point and then could switch it. I don't know. You kind of have to like use a row counter for that to make sense. I don't know. But I've got some fun stitch markers on here from the Woolberry Coastal collection. I also have one of my most recent Black Pearl Magic smiley face stitch markers on here, which is super cute. I love this. And yeah, it's going well. I do want to keep working on it, but now I really need to focus on my Clove sweater to get it done before next week. So that is that. That is that. Let's see. I have to show you also my next Oslo hat, which sadly doesn't have any progress on it. I've really been focusing on those other two. It's really hard for me to split time between more than 2 projects. It's actually like really hard for me to split time between like 2 projects, but sometimes I figure it out to the detriment of the timing imposed by myself of when I want to finish my other projects. But this one is going to be a gift, and I have one more that I need to make as a gift as well before Christmas, so this will definitely be a focus in December. I'm like really close, maybe not, maybe like halfway. I think I'm a little more than halfway through the brim on this one. Once, I know I've said it before, but once you do the fold, for me, I feel like it flies. I could probably finish this with like 2 days of knitting, but again, it just hasn't been my focus yet recently. But again, Oslo Hat by Petite Knit. The yarn is Oink Pigments in the colorway Sting Operation, and this is like a cashmere superwash merino nylon blend. It's very soft. Very, very soft. Okay, those are my works in progress. There's something we need to talk about with one of my finished objects. Do you remember my beautiful, amazing sweater number 15? Yes, we do. Okay. Well, I have been wearing this out and about, and I love it, but I had noticed every time I wore it, it felt like something was wrong in the sleeves. And I wore it to work last week, and I was in the bathroom, and I was like, I really feel like one of the sleeves is longer and one of the sleeves is shorter. So I counted, and on my left sleeve I have 12 cable repeats, and on my right sleeve I have 11. Like, are you serious? I only did 11? I missed 1 cable repeat? It's a tragedy. So at some point I really need to go back, and I'll rip this out. This twisted rib armband is literally, what is it, 7, 8 rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. So it's okay. It's not a lot that I'm going to be ripping out. And then I need to add a whole cable repeat and redo it and redo the bind off, which a sewn bind off for this few stitches is like, this is not going to be a problem. I'm just like annoyed with myself. I guess I must have been like so eager to finish. I must have made a mistake with my row counter at one point and like skipped ahead. Like maybe I dropped it and just skipped ahead 2 repeats instead of 1. But I don't even know if you can like tell. Let me see. If I like fold this. Oh, you can! Oh my gosh. Look at this. This is like folded. Normally it's like all lined up and then just one whole repeat. Man. But it's okay, we'll fix it, and then I'll block it again so that I can block that sleeve. And I'm gonna try and block the sleeve length in general a little bit longer too. So I do have like relatively long arms for my height. And with a cable sweater, like, you know, you need to like end at a specific point in the cable repeat so that it looks good. You can't just like make it to any length. If I added if I added an additional cable repeat on like the long sleeve, then they would be too long. So I'm just gonna try and block the sleeve length out a little bit more to get a little bit more length in there. But I just can't believe I did that, man, you know? Crazy. So I don't know, I don't think I'll have time like this week to do that again because I'm really gonna focus on my Clove sweater, but sometime. It might not be till like January because in December I really need to get those hats done, which if I just like focused on the hats, took a couple days, I think I could whip them out, but I don't know, we'll see. Okay, acquisitions. I had a really great mail day last weekend. We went up to LA. It was my mom's 60th birthday. Yay! Happy birthday, Mom! That's Aloha Desert Donna, if you don't know who my mom is. She makes beautiful macrame. Again, shout out, link in the description. But it was her birthday, and of course, every time you leave the house, right, is when all of your deliveries arrive. And you're like, meh, like, I don't want to miss them. Hopefully nobody steals them. Hopefully they're still there when I get home. Well, we got home. They were still there, so we're all good. One of my deliveries was, if you watched my last episode about planning projects, I purchased another skein of this Miss Babs silk linen. It's the damask fingering in the colorway Barrel. I purchased one more skein, so that arrived. Really excited about that. Additionally, I had purchased 3 skeins from a D-stash. My friend Juliana, who is knit backwards, purl forwards. I'll put it on the screen. She was de-stashing 3 skeins of Explorer knits. Okay, I didn't really get like any of Explorer Knits National Parks yarn. This was last year, I think. Club? Something like that? I don't remember. But I think I now have like 3 or 4 National Park skeins that I have like collected through D-stash over this year. So this one is Big Bend National Park on Denali Sock, which is her 80/20 superwash merino nylon base. It's really pretty. I really like it. And then she was also getting rid of Untamed. I freaking love this color. I have one other skein of it in worsted. I don't know why I bought 1 skein in worsted. Like, what do you do with 1 skein of worsted? If you have patterns for 1 skein of worsted, it's like 200 yards. Let me know. But now I have 1 skein in sock, and I also have 1 skein of this, which kind of looks like linen. I think this was from a Leave No Trace sale because it doesn't have a name on it. I think it might be a little bit darker than linen, like maybe it was an oopsie dye or something, but it's very close. It's very close to like an undyed natural beige off-white color. And I think together these are just gorgeous. So I have no idea what I'm going to make with them, but I love them. And I'm gonna put them in my little one skein sock cubby down here, which has kind of turned into like my overflow cubby as well. There's a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of Explorer knits in here, but that's okay. This is my barrel-aged sour. My one skein left. Okay. The next thing I have to show you, I am very excited about, and you guys keep asking about it, and there is a story to it, but do you know what's in this bag? Hey! It's my Black Pearl Magic bag! Okay, so my original Black Pearl Magic bag never showed up. Said delivered, was not delivered, never showed up. Shayla very, very, very kindly and generously reached out to me and asked if it was the Rhinebeck bag, which it was. And she said, I have some extra vinyl, let me make it for you. And she did, and she sent it to me. And I almost cried when I opened it. It's just gorgeous. It's this like see-through, clear, sparkly vinyl with the hot pink zipper with the like multicolor actual zipper. This was in collaboration with Madeline Tosh, so you've got this like MT Madeline Tosh logo, and then it has the like bag strap as well, and it's beautiful. It's large. This is definitely gonna fit like a sweater quantity, if not multiple sweater quantities of yarn in it. There is a beautiful note. Thank you, Shayla. And there was a really cute pin that says, on Wednesdays we craft pink. Hello. There we go. Like Mean Girls. On Wednesdays we wear pink. So I'm gonna crinkle and take the paper out, but I love it. I'm just gonna throw some skeins in here. Let's see how many skeins can we fit. That's already 4 skeins, and that's like half the bag, not even. Let's see. Let's put this one in there. This is all like Explorer Knits yarn too. Let's see more of my Explorer Knits. None of that's Explorer Knits. Oh, here we go. I'm just gonna pull things out. I have a really fun time just putting things back in my yarn cubbies too, so no worries. Oh, let's shove this in there. I got one more that fell out. This was one of my other national parks. This is Arches, I believe. Okay. Woo! How many did I put in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I put 12 skeins of yarn in here. Let's squish it down. Let's close it up. Don't get any yarn caught in the zipper. That would be sad. There we go. I did it. This thing fits 12 skeins of yarn. I love it. It's amazing. So, I'm really happy with it, and I want more. So, now I'm just going to pull out all my Explorer Knits yarn, give you a little show. This is Tawny, Into the Stars Who Listen. You've seen all of these on recent podcasts, so don't be surprised and act like you haven't seen them before, because you can't. You have. You definitely have. And Untamed. Untamed. So beautiful. But anyways, yes, even the thread on the inside is like rainbow multicolor. I don't even know if you can see that. It's gorgeous. I love it. Thank you so much, Shayla. You are a rock star, and your craftsmanship is beautiful, and everyone needs to buy one of your bags. I could just like stare at it all day. Okay. In my order from Miss Babs, also, I got like a little tiny stitch marker as like a welcome gift because I made my first purchase from their website. They also sent a tiny little 6-yard sample of a DK wool cashmere silk that says swatch me. It's like, make a little swatch with this to see if you like it and then buy more. Which, you know, they sent the cashmere, so they know me. Without knowing me, they know nothing about me, but they picked the correct yarn to send me. So that is everything I got in the mail. Let me look at my shop really quick. I got a lot of notifications while I've been filming this. I was really hoping my Woolberry Fiber advent box would be here for today's podcast, but it has not actually been shipped yet. It looks like they are packing up those boxes and probably getting them out soon, but it's not here yet. So I was hoping that would be here, like I just said. It's not yet, but so we are waiting on that, and we are waiting on another yarn order that I placed from Witchfire Fibers. Did you see this collection that she put out? I have to show you. Do you see these colors? All 6 of them plus the like white yarn. I got all of them. I got one of each. So maybe I can make like a striped sweater with this, maybe like a patchwork sweater with this. I was obsessed. I mean, all of these like pinky reds are gorgeous, and then all of these greens are absolutely gorgeous, and I needed it. She even had it on this white tweed, which I personally like wasn't a huge fan of the white tweed. But it has been growing on me since I ordered this. So I keep like thinking like, should I have gotten the white tweed? I didn't. I got the regular. But they are so gorgeous. So we're waiting on that. And additionally, Explorer Knits had their Leave No Trace sale over the weekend on Sunday, and I did in fact buy 2 packs. One was a cashmere fingering weight, and one was a DK. So I'm really excited. I did not put any notes. I just wanted them to surprise me. So I don't know what I'll get. Typically in the past, I have loved everything that I've gotten from like oopsie sales, surprise sales. So I'm excited about that. So that's what's coming up. Let's talk a little bit about the advent boxes that I do have. So the first one you have seen on here before. This is my Twice Sheared Sheep advent. This is not yarn related. This is all knitting tools. And there is 1 box to open every day between December 1st and December 25th. So this I will be opening every day on Instagram. I think I will make a reel every day and put it in my stories, but I think that's the best way to do that. And then here on the podcast, every week I will show you what has been opened from like Friday to Friday. So there won't be any like spoilers unless you are watching the video when it first comes out on Friday and you have not opened your Friday box yet. But I will announce that before I share anything. Okay? The second one is my first yarn advent. Actually, this is my second yarn advent. So the Woolberry one I ordered first, and then I ordered the Explorer Knits. Originally, I was only going to allow myself to order the Explorer Knits one, and then I saw Bethany from Woolberry put up her like inspiration photos, and I just thought they were gorgeous. They were these kind of like jewel toned. There was like a maroon, like a yellowish, a green, and like a dark blue, and she knocks all of her colorways out of the park, and I thought those are gonna go really well together. I got the tonals, so I think that might be the one that I make a sweater with in January, maybe. We'll see. It'll depend. I'll have to open it first and find out if that's what I want to make with it. But this is my Explore Knits one. So I just want to share. It comes with this beautiful photo that's like inspiration photo on the package. Now I have opened this, but I like have not opened the yarn. I'm not going to show you any of the yarn. I'm just going to show you what the inside of the package looks like, okay? No spoilers here. But you open it up and you've got all four. She did a full skein advent, so it's 4 weeks in December, 4 full skeins, 1 to open each week. And then there are some little goodies in here that I got also that I'm not going to share now. I did look at them. I did look at those, but I'm not going to share those until December 1st, okay? Because that's the nice thing to do here. No spoilers. But I'm really excited about this as well. So yeah, that's kind of like what's happening in the world of Advent. I will be opening the, oh sorry, back up. Both the Explorer Knits and the Woolberry boxes are full skein boxes with 1 skein to open each week. So I will also be sharing those on Instagram as I open them, and then each week on the podcast I will show you the skein that I have opened. So I'm really excited about all of that. December in the yarn world is like very fun. There are so many different like Advent countdown calendar boxes for like all different holidays. Like obviously Christmas is like the biggest one, but there are a lot that count down to the winter solstice. I have seen a lot of Hanukkah countdown boxes. I have seen Kwanzaa themed countdown boxes. So there is a lot out there, and it's just fun on Instagram to watch everyone's stories, watch everyone's videos, and see them opening all of their advents. I love it. I love to see all the different colors that are popping up in Advent world. I know a lot of YouTubers especially do Vlogmas over the month of December. I am not doing Vlogmas. That's a little too much for me right now. Vlogs are not my favorite things to make. I feel like I never know what to film, so that's not it. And I don't know. I feel like my life isn't that interesting, so like, do you want to like watch me go to work? That's not fun. I don't enjoy that, so I don't think you're going to enjoy that either. So we'll just have regular podcasts every week in December like normal. I will share everything that I am working on still, everything that I have opened, and it's gonna be a jolly good time over here. So that is that. I put a question box on Instagram to see if anybody had any questions for me in the podcast, and let's see, somebody asked any knitting goals for 2023, skills, patterns, or something else. That's actually a great question that I have not really thought about that much. The only thing that I have like really thought of is, you know, the comparison videos that I'm working on. So like I said, the drop shoulder one will come in January, and the raglan one will come probably in March or April when I finish knitting those 3 raglan sweaters. Doing stuff like this, like comparison of patterns, has been really fun for me. So maybe that's something that I will continue in 2023. But I think at some point I will make a whole video on 2023 plans, because I think that's a fun thing. That's what people do on YouTube, and that's what people like to watch. We'll also have a whole, you know, here's what I made in 2022 video as well, because I love watching those videos too. Okay. The other question number 2 that I got, I know you'll do a video comparison eventually, but so far, do you prefer the Oslo or the Clove sweater? I so far preferred the Oslo, making it, over the Clove sweater. Minus the whole part where I made it too long, had to cut it out, like take that out of the equation, because that was not super fun, although it did provide me a new skill. I preferred knitting the Oslo over the Clove in terms of like the pattern so far. And the last question I got is, what do you do for elbow/shoulder pain? I try to stretch. So I don't really get elbow pain, but I do in my right shoulder sometimes when I'm knitting a lot. And I've realized, especially when I'm sitting like on the bed, I am on, like if you're sitting in bed, I am on the right side. That's like my spot. And so I will typically put my ball of yarn on the left side of me so that I can pull and not have it fall off the bed on the right. Because of that, sometimes I sit like twisted like this to be closer to that ball of yarn, or I'll like be sitting straight but my arms will be like more over here, and I feel like your right shoulder, like that's the one that you're doing most of the knitting motion with, so that's where I get like pain and soreness sometimes. So I like to do a lot of shoulder stretches like this, just take breaks and like stretch it out. And at one point I was trying to like lift more weights to like build up the muscle there more, or at least like keep it stagnant, maybe not like trying to build muscle, but like at least keep it moving and stretched out. And when I was doing that, I found that it was hurting less because I was like exercising it regularly. Do not ask me any like shoulder exercises. I am not an expert in that. But it kind of makes sense, right? If you're exercising it regularly, maybe it's not going to hurt as much when you're kind of like sitting doing repetitive motions for long periods of time, like I know we all like to do with our knitting. So that's what I do, stretch it out. If you do have like injuries like that, reach out to your doctor or reach out to the knitting PT on Instagram. I know she has set up a whole business to help knitters and crocheters especially with these types of like injuries and stuff, and I know she will do like consultations where she will like watch you knit and correct you on your form and tell you some things that you can do. So that's a great resource for all of us. Those are all the questions that I have. Let me see, I wanted to share with you some of the patterns that I have saved this week. First, have you seen the Knit Pearl Girl, Sophie, one of her new sweaters, this striped sweater? This is the Farnham sweater, and I think this is absolutely gorgeous, very cute. Want to make immediately. It is a drop shoulder, which, you know, we're having a moment with drop shoulders. Did I show this one last week? Because I feel like I might have. No, I don't think I did. I think I showed a different drop shoulder. But I love the stripes. The neckline, when I first saw this, I like wasn't fully sold on it, but as I keep looking at it and I keep seeing her wearing it, I love it more and more. This is definitely something that I would like to make in these colors as well. I think a white with like a navy blue stripe is just gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. This picture of sweater number 20 from My Favorite Things Knitwear has popped up a few times for me as well. This is just the chunkiest, I just want to squeeze it. Like, it looks so soft, so squishy, chunkiest cable knit sweater, and I would love to make this as well. I have created on Ravelry a bundle. Well, I've created a bunch of bundles on Ravelry recently, but one of them is called Texture, and I'm pretty sure I put this one in it. This is sweater number 20, like I said. I started like a texture bundle, color work, spring like t-shirt patterns, summer tank top patterns. I have my drop shoulder bundle, my raglan sweater bundle, all sorts of bundles. It's helping me like categorize different patterns in my head. So if you're interested, check them out. If you have recommendations of patterns that I should add to the bundles, let me know. And then this pattern came up by JP Knits Things. This is Letters from the Open Road. This is stunning and incredible, and I think anyone would look at this and say, just like not believe that you knit it. It's this like bomber jacket almost that looks quilted. I'm guessing just because of the like knit and purl stitches used, but then it's got these like welts down the front as well, and you add a zipper in all the way. This looks so cozy and comfortable and just like amazing. This is like a bucket list knit, I feel like, and I would love to make this someday. So those are some of the things that I have saved recently. Yeah, just a lot of inspiration on Instagram, seriously. Okay, what am I reading and watching and listening to? I'm still listening to Midnights by Taylor Swift. I love it. Favorite songs this week. I don't know if my list has really changed. I'm still just like really jamming out to Would've, Could've, Should've. Definitely that is like on my top list all time favorite. I don't want to say it's my favorite Taylor Swift song, but it's in the top. Lavender Haze and Maroon, love them still. Karma. Paris? Yeah. Right now, those are my faves. Reading. I finish the 3rd Throne of Glass book, and I'm on the 4th Throne of Glass book. Queen of Shadows. That's where I am. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, if you have only read A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, I would really, really recommend you read the Throne of Glass series. It's like finished. Like, there are no more Throne of Glass books coming out. It is, I've heard it's like in the same, well, it is. It's in the same like realm, world as both A Court of Thorns and Roses and Crescent City. But I believe this took place like years before. But there are like some like crossover things through all 3 of these series. So it's really fun. I have read all of the series now. I've read ACOTAR twice. This is my 2nd time reading A Throne of Glass. So I feel like I'm finally starting to like pick things out, and I'm like, oh, this relates to these books in this way. And like, oh, this book in this book is a book that's in the other book. There's a lot of libraries. But yeah, so I'm on Queen of Shadows, and then next, I'm pretty sure it's the next 2, Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. I'm pretty sure there's a like tandem reading list where you can read both of those at the same time, because they're like different characters, and so if you don't want to just like lose out on the storylines of different characters through both books, you can read them both at the same time, like different chapters. So I'm gonna do that. I'm really excited about it. But that's what I'm reading. And then watching. I have found, well, a new to me, she is like very popular, a new to me knitting podcast that I had never heard of before and I had never watched before, and I am just binging. But it's the Wool Needles Hands podcast. Taylor is the host, and yeah, I just love it. She has a lot of subscribers, so I'm sure you have seen some of her videos, but they're super fun. And so I've been watching her, and let me see if there was someone else that I had recently subscribed to. Oh, I recently subscribed to the Crazy Sock Lady. I don't know why I wasn't before. I don't know why I wasn't watching all of her videos, but I have started watching the Crazy Sock Lady, and you know this is only going to make me want to keep trying to make socks, and probably failing, but I don't know. I saw Bethany from Woolberry Fiber Co. She knit a sock, well, she knit a pair of socks recently, and she knit the cuff, and then she just knit the whole ball of yarn, and then she knit another cuff, and then she was gonna cut it and add heels and toes in like a contrast color. And, you know, I thought to myself, maybe that'll be an easier way for me to knit socks, so maybe I'll try that. And then for some reason I bought a self-striping yarn from another D-stash. Someone was D-stashing it, and I figured maybe that'll be my chance to try this out. So maybe we'll see another pair of socks on the podcast soon. Who knows with me? Who knows? I'm just happy we get a 4-day weekend off from work where I can do this, work on the podcast, work on my knitting, just, you know, pull out. I'm just like looking at all of this yarn that I flopped on the floor after putting it in my Black Pearl Magic bag. But I just love days off like this where sometimes I just like come and sit in front of my yarn cabinets and I just look at everything, maybe do some rearranging, do some project planning. It's really fun, and it's just like, it's very relaxing for me, so I enjoy that. I hope you get the opportunity as well to take some time off this weekend and focus on your knitting or crochet or your projects. Maybe you also get a chance to stare lovingly at your yarn stash and enjoy it. So happy Thanksgiving, happy Friday, happy weekend, happy whatever day you're watching this on. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you get some time to knit. I also wanted to say, if you're watching this and you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. As of filming right now, we are so close to 800. I'm like 2 or 3 subscribers away from 800. I think we can do it. I think we can get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But just push that button if you're not subscribed already. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will see you next week. Bye!